We got the shine to our backs. That's all we need for liftoff. Let's go. Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's your morning motivation time. I'm your host with the Moses Marky Saint. Every morning I get up and I'm blessed to live my life, and today is no different. Look, that's the sound of something that's got to start for somebody. Here we go. There we go. Turn it on. Turn it off. No, off. I really don't know how to set this thing, so I'm just gonna let it go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Air fry it, bro. Air fry it. It wouldn't turn off. It had like 3 minutes left, so I let it run. Probably the worst decision I made of the day because I can feel some of the hot air coming my way. Bad, Saint. Bad. And is that my mindset? Is that what I tell myself every time I do something that's incongruent with success, or isn't up to par, or isn't something that I judge? And this morning, it's not about my lifestyle. It's about my fucking mindset. And that's something my lifestyle, I said my mind style, because everyone has a different style. You might not know it, so I'm going to have a conversation about it this morning for the morning motivation. Let me plug us in here. And I also got my fresh fruits. Hi there. What's up, everybody? I'm on the gay club. All my friends from yesterday, or Saturday, or Sunday, I've been partying all weekend. I don't even know what day it is. They were walking around all sorts of fruity tooty outfits, and everybody was open and everybody was free. But some people want to judge mentally. Let's go into it real quick. You at first, as a human being, might not know your lifestyle. You might think that I'm talking about cars or money or what you do for a vocation. It's not what kind of style I'm talking about. I'm talking about aptitude. I'm talking about reaction speed. And what I'm also talking about is mentality. See, a lot of people can't see what other people see. Case in point, when they're talking about Navy SEALs, right? Most of you, probably like me, would probably think that it comes down to a muscular dude who looks a certain part. I've been playing with G.I. Joe since I was a kid. He's got to look like my G.I. Joe, right? And that's the idea of a Navy SEAL. That's not what a Navy SEAL is, y'all. He could be scraggly. He could be skinny. He could be Flacco, is what they were calling the other homeboy last night, Flacco. And he's a really skinny kid, right? Isn't that right, Flacco? And what ends up happening is that we ourselves shut down mentally. That's right. When put under pressure, we usually start telling ourselves, oh, you're fucking up again, right? Or a signature line that you've been telling yourself for a long time, don't do that, it might not be safe, or my mom might not approve, or what kind of man am I? And to really figure out your mind style is a really awareness moment, right? That's why I was talking about the portal. Thanks to Chelsea. Chelsea Glass Slipper. She sent me that this morning. Today's August 8th. It's 888. It's time to rein in the magic portal, trying to rein in the manifestations. I'm on the case. Lit is healing up. That was so much worse yesterday. Chewing gum consistently like a madman when I'm on ecstasy. And really chewed up my gum. I think that on that side too. It hurts. It feels like somebody kind of punched me in the mouth. Anyway, so I'm making this show with a sore mouth. Pardon me, this is how it's going to go down. So anyway, your boy Saint, bam, caught it. Ended up having this conversation with this girl from Brazil. Came up to her, she had a Brazil flag. I'm like, hey, I've been to Brazil too. You know what I mean? Like partying. You know, you get it in your head. Anyway, the point being is that the next day, she was already following my Instagram page. The next day, I ended up smoking with her cousin here in the alleyway. He goes, that's my cousin. I was like, no way, I almost hooked up with your cousin, dude. I think I'm gonna fuck your cousin. I just was being fucking with him, right? But he's like, no, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. And I was like, okay. I'm like, let's take a picture at least. You know, I didn't think nothing of it. What I didn't know is he broke into her house, stole her rent, and fucked off. like a punk ass kid. Okay. This is what she told me this morning. My mind style, the way that I am, wants to kind of beat him up, you know? And I know that's not going to solve anything. And I know people are going to hate on me, but you can act like you're not human too. But that was the old me, dude. Regulate things with my property. And we damn good too. You know, you want to catch these hands? We got to catch these hand shirts at Saints Addiction. Because I couldn't catch myself. My mindset, the way I was wired or the way I think that I am, and everybody always talks about tiger stripes, and this is just the way that I am. No, it's the way that you act. Like, big difference, homie. It's the way that you act. Not everybody acts the same. Some people are very conservative. You'll see very conservative women. They're very, very classic styles. They're not showing much skin. Hell, you can get extremely conservative and be like an extreme Muslim and cover up every inch of your skin but your eyes because you still got to see because you're still human and you can pretend that you're as deity as you want to be. There's people that believe in piety, that if they pray more, they're going to get more favor from the gods than you. Maybe it's the affirmations. Maybe it's the stars. Maybe it's the gods. I'm not quite sure. But people pretend this way. They get in their head and they live in that head and they react from that same head. That same brain is sending them signals of failure, neglect, mismanagement. You know, the things that we all do to ourselves will just start to constantly bombard our memories and our psyches into this area that only we can see through. Like, it's like such a small little portal. Like, the sun's coming up on that. Such a small little portal of opportunity to see brings us into a negative focus of view. And it's going to be really hard to do because what's going to happen is your brain's going to fire emotions at you faster than light. That's right. Just like sound, it's as fast, almost as fast as light. Actually, light is faster than sound. But as it's going into your brain, it's electrical fast. Just like a radio picking up a dial, just like you hearing a tune on a radio, it's instantly processing the information before you can even calculate it. That's why we always stare at each other when we're listening. We are calculating with the only two assets that we really have. We try to calculate through smelling. Most women will tell you this. If you have bad hygiene, get the fuck away from me. I'm not fucking you after the gym. Most monkeys don't want to hump on each other when they're smelling funky, right? But it's also a mental style, right? So this is the things where you approach things with hesitation, with fear, with bad expectations, and you approach things with that attitude. See, I told you he wasn't going to show up. Yeah, see, I told you this wasn't going to be fun. Who's all there? People, we do this all the time. We premeditate ourselves. This guy just committed premeditated murder in Thailand from Spain. He was an actor or something. And I was just like, wow, bro, you could be on a travel trip with your homie on the back of their motorcycle. You know what I mean? Like, you could be on a international travel trip with your homie. You could be a superstar. You could be good looking, long, luscious locks of hair and still be a murderer. Still go get 6 feet of rope, gloves, duct tape, and act like nothing happened, and a knife, and nothing happened. Okay, maybe that's your mentality. Maybe you don't want anyone else to know about it, but it's true. Some people, they fly off the handle. I saw it the other day. A mother had a fucking cigarette in her mouth, and she was trying to reprimand her child because the float device was too big for her. Came back, why are you taking so long, in Spanish? And hurry up, and you're kind of embarrassing me in front of these men. And we were the men, and it's like, you weren't embarrassing anything. You need to be helping your child. She's about 8 or 10, and it's an adult floaty device, and you're getting on her ass in front of friends, and she's thinking that she's relieving stress because that's what her mind tells her. That's how her father talked to her. Therefore, she's going to respond that way. And I started to go, oh shit, it's your mind style. It's your mind style. Are you the type of person that judges people by what they wear? Oh, you're not that kind of person. Oh, okay, well, I'll wait till you start telling the truth. The truth is that's exactly what we do. If we see somebody with the bad hygiene and the bad clothes coming our way, we think homeless, we cross the street, we don't want to deal with them, we know that they're mentally unstable, we know we might have to get animalistic with them if needs must. It's happened to me. I remember telling you guys the other day, I think it was last week on the show, about when I was like, I wasn't even 19, man. I must have been 16. And my sisters walking down New Orleans took some roses from some homeless man. And by the time he got to me, Carrie got the rose, Natasha got the rose. Then it was Marky Saint's time to pay, and he wanted $20 for the roses. I think each or something. And I didn't have the money. I said, girls, what the fuck you doing? Giving this man his stuff back. No, I don't want that. I want my money. Then we had a fight because my mentality at that time is if I felt unsafe, I fought my way out. It's the realest truth I said all this whole show right there. For me to take 43 years, 42 technically, no, 41 years, because it was me losing my child to realize I had a temper and to see myself that way, I always thought people were fucking with me. I'm starting to cry a little bit. Because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to know that yourself is petty. It's embarrassing that you know that your piety doesn't give you highness over someone else. It's embarrassing to know that you're judgmental and that you cast judgment on people and you talk shit. Most people, while they're talking shit, they think they're amongst friends. They're just talking shit, right? Just talking the shit. Sitting on the porch, talking the shit. What they don't realize is they're talking the shit to their mind. They're taking a shit literally in their mind. If you carry your mind like a toilet bowl, you wouldn't shit there. You don't shit where you eat. And you eat with your mind. Not only does it taste the taste buds and you process what you want to eat for life, but you also process everything through your mind. So if you send your mind shit, you're going to feel like shit. I'm flexing right now because I feel great. I keep sending my body the right shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bitch. Get off me. Your boy. Losing the weight. Don't even have to pretend. Like, I kept myself disciplined, therefore I get what I deserve. You know what I mean? And if I feel like my brain deserves positive reinforcement, calculated risk, bravery, some of those things that we do, the worst thing that we do to ourselves is that fear-bound thoughts. This ain't gonna work out. It's probably not gonna work. My relationship, this chick, that chick, what location I go to. I knew it was going to be a shit box going into Germany. I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy Turkey, so I kept it short time because it was starting to bug me, but at least I knew of it. That's what we keep telling ourselves. Hold on. Just burped. Jumping out. Chocolate milk burped up. And it's that message that we keep telling ourselves is the message that we're going to hear. And it's like choosing the jukebox, bro. You go up to it. You only got a certain amount of money. You only got a certain amount of energy. You want it to play a certain song so you can feel a certain way, right? That's how we do our jukebox. I'm like, I'm feeling rock and rollish. I'm feeling a little hellion. A little hellion, like they used to say back in the day when you were being a bad boy or bad girl, you're like a little hellion, raising hell, raising Cain, right? When we start to raise up in our own minds, right? We start to raise up, take offense, take defense, take offense. That's what they're making and taking offense. You start to get into a zone where now you don't feel protected. I know I didn't. Like, why are you harassing me? Why are you making fun of me, man? Don't make fun of me. I have to whoop your ass if you talk shit. I'm like, is violence the only answer that I knew? Apparently, since I was a kid. It's the only thing that got around to anybody. If you didn't want to get bop, the bop, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to get bop, upside your head, right up the center of the temple, you don't want to get bop. But what do we do with our family members? Kid gets in the ice cream, slap right on the hands. That's your mentality. And most people don't want to admit this because it's embarrassing. But to say this is how my brain works is literally what we're processing when we're seeing that homeless person walk by or a beautiful woman walking by or any situation that we interact with. We start processing it a certain way. We hop into our heads and we go, okay, this is good. This is bad. We do it. Nothing. But we do it from red to black. Either you're on the red team or the black team. And what I noticed in the BU seminar, right, is there's more than one way to skin a cat. Sorry, I got shit in my throat. Maybe that's a mental reaction to me about to be smoking some hash. I'm not quite sure, but my mouth is sore, so I gotta play along. Anyway. I'm human. Or at least that's what I tell myself, right? You know? And it's the messages that we send ourselves that really matter. Get this out of my throat. Don't mind me. I'm human. I'm just another human that took a chance at my life. That's what ended up happening. I'm the guy that said, what if I always do my best? I heard it from LL Cool J. He said, I made a decision. It was the biggest decision of my life to always do my best. Now, that's not a small request. That means every long night, every early morning, every grind when you feel tired, every positive message that you send yourself when you started thinking negatively, every focus that you give yourself on what's right instead of wrong. And there are people that are glued to that programming too. You'll find those people all the day long. You know, they'll feel like they are the only ones that know what's going wrong. And if they report it, they get some kind of norepinephrine or like, what is the word I'm really looking for? Not norepinephrine. It's what's the word when you have, not serotonin. Maybe it is serotonin. Hold up. Maybe it is serotonin. Maybe that's what we do. We look for a flood of hormones or chemicals in our brain to relieve us of pain. That's going to happen. That's why the Navy SEALs are so good at what they do, is because there's going to be somebody that doesn't mind staying out in the rain for long hours before they kill someone, or to endure sand in their crack and cold in the water. Every other human being on this planet is trying to get comfortable. These human beings, these Navy SEALs, are getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. I started getting comfortable with women to talk to them. I started realizing that they weren't as mean or intimidating or as complicated as I was making them out to be. And how many times in our situations in our lives have we made something more complicated than it ought to be? And how many times have we gone into our minds and started judging things and weighing them on a scale that's not even fair? When the pharaohs were buried, right, they would weigh the heart and the liver to see if you lived a balanced life. It was the beginning of Judgment Day, right? Like when we consider in the Christian philosophies that taught in the West, that we will be judged by some kind of priest or a dead man over the river Styx. You cannot cross unless you have a coin. It's kind of this mentality, like if you don't have enough bread, you don't deserve to live. Maybe that's your mentality. Maybe you're just Bubba Gumping it or fuck around and just going like, I just love people and I just love my life. And as long as I love my mama, everything's going to be okay. Keep it simple, stupid. It's the KISS system. Mwah. You need to keep it simple. Some of us think we're so complicated. We're like, yeah, as long as I can edge this out, then I'll make that money. There's some girls that just want to love you for you. And it ain't going to be the money. And if you start acting like Mr. Money, then they're not going to love you the same way because you went into a different programming. A lot of us adjust ourselves outside of ourselves. We don't even know that we are started to pre-program ourselves for certain reactions, certain reaction speed. We just want to live the way that we live, and we want to live good. It becomes a mind without concentration. And that's what it was cool. The two words of today was success and ikagi. And it's a purpose. Ikagi is a Japanese purpose for what you do with your life, your vocation, and how you respond to life. I thought this was perfect for the 888 portal. Chelsea sending me that. The word of the day was success. The other word of the day was ikagi. And that there's this mentality of what is your mentality? What is your purpose? What's your GP, bro? Your general purpose in life? What's your modus operandi? You know, your what do they call that? And I don't watch enough true crimes. What is it called? What is your motive in life? What's your motto? What's your creed? What's your mission statement? What do you live by and die by? Some people live and die by their stubbornness. I know for sure I would do it. You hurt me, so therefore I gotta hurt you. You didn't call me back, so therefore I gotta wait 2 days to call you back so you can have a punishment, just like I felt like you punished me. Hell, you could have been working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been busy. But the old me would be petty. Be like, I'm important. You need to call me now. I'm important. You know, if I'm important to you, then you respond fast. Or if it's important to you, then you'll react to my messages. Or, you know, I got to feel important. I got to feel wanted and needed. And that's another thing that you got to catch your attention on. I got my friend, he's like, oh shit, my daughter might end up a stripper. She just loves the attention too much. You know, she loves dancing and the attention too much. And you got to catch that shit. Catch them while they're young. Give them more attention and be like, you don't need the attention of other people. You don't want to be noticed in a midriff at 14 years old. You don't want to start advertising before your first period or just since your first period. You don't want to be the girl that sends the message that you're available sexually before you even become a sexual person. But I see it all the time in the streets. That's when something... That's something I see people do all the time, especially like when I was in Turkey. The English people would let their daughters, 12, 15 years old, wear mini skirts like they're out in Las Vegas and trying to let them run around the town with whatever boy they wanted while they went to the bar and got drunk. And if hell came, then it was high water. And that's just what I was seeing. Now, do I advocate full coverage like the other Muslim countries that I've been in? No, I don't. I don't think anybody should be restricted. I really do believe in freedoms, but with the ultimate freedom of you to think what you want, especially free speech in our country, in America, it's dangerous sometimes. Sometimes there's subversiveness. I think they just busted two Chinese Navy soldiers. I don't know, are they soldiers if they're in the Navy? I don't know. Anyway, my point is that they were trying to sell secrets back to China while they were on the aircraft carrier. Now, if that's your mentality, if you really think that by committing espionage, that you would become an advantage to someone, that you would take advantage of a young girl, or you would take advantage of a poor person, or you would take advantage instead of taking advancement. Mental advancement is what I'm talking about this morning. It's this thing that you got to see between your ears is a computer, and it's an enigma machine, and it's an enigma to all of us how how we all process our thoughts. For most people, they don't get to study psychology. They don't sit there still enough. They're not sober enough, long enough to see what their thoughts are doing to them. So that's what I had to do with myself, is I had to figure out what was going on with me. Why was I so angry? Why was I responding to people so dangerously? Why was I so violent? Turns out, learned a lot of it from my father. He had the old clap back. You know, it's like you can be reached. Anytime somebody could come to the back of like my mom trying to hit us in the back of the station wagon, and I'm off to the side, like, I'm behind her because she's in the driver's seat, and then all of a sudden, bip, got myself hit. You know what I'm saying? Bink, my head went up against the window. You can be a rude little kid, but you're going to be an even more obnoxious adult. You can get away with it with some people, and some people you're going to lose. It's just facts to life. You can't always act like a dick. I got friends that do that. You can't always be the drunk guy. You won't have friends for long. You can't always live in fear. You won't accomplish anything. And you definitely can't live in fear, because that's the opposite of success. So for most of us, life is pushing us, whether we like it or not. Pushing us in jail, pushing us into sobriety, pushing us to have wear condoms. Like, it's pushing us in the direction that we ought to be. And that's what I thought was shocking. You know, I really thought it was shocking that our brains can work in certain ways. And that's why I think people get divorced. You know, I know that's what happened with me and my ex. You know, not that we were married, but I would have married her. And I still feel like marrying her. You know, it just is weird because I'm a tourist and I get connected to someone and I only live out of love. But that's how my brain works. My brain isn't like, oh yeah, I'm in Mallorca, it's time to fucking party. I've been doing that because it is time to party. It's time to live it up. Live it up. Whoa, we got to, you know, live it up. But I also got to work it up. Get my ass up. Go do the work. You know what I mean? And that's really what ended up happening. It's like, I'm like, I can't just sit here. I can't just sit here all day, being on my phone, smoking all weed, not doing anything. I got to make something happen. And to continue my kind of positivity, my type of momentum that I'm getting out of this experience, because it is, I'm getting momentum. I feel the wind to my back. Any moment, the package is going to land, and then I can start giving out samples to everybody around here. And just like that, I'll get some sales. So on my mind, you know, I have only a certain amount of sales products to give out there. Only a certain amount of gadgets that I have, right? And it's up to me to manage this gadget up here to get the results that I need. And now the people aren't going to say that. Richard Badgham, shout out to you. My now dead business mentor would say, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Now, I'm sure he got it from Zig Ziglar, and I'm sure that guy got it from Epictetus. I'm sure it goes way back. But the truth is, it's like, it's all mindset. It's all mind style. Your mind style will dictate your... Sorry, guys. What's up in my throat, but I'm getting it out. But my lifestyle, my mind style, dictates my reaction speed, how I talk to people, even if my mouth is busted in my lips, how I talk, how I react. If I feel offended, I might say something smart ass back. Holler back, there's a clap back. Maybe it was the chocolate milk that got me. It's lactose free, but it's still coming out of me. Anyway. But that's what I needed to have a conversation with people about today, was just like, you got to watch yourself. If you think by stealing from your family you're going to get ahead, you're dead wrong. If you think that by intimidating other people or living in fear, you're dead wrong. And if you think that just because you want it a certain way, it's going to happen your way, you're dead wrong again. There's some space between the gods and reality that life happens and we have no control over it. But then there's this space between our minds and our ears that says we do have some control over it. So our limbic system, the lizard brain, when we're reacting, and I went insane and I like snapped and I was like freaking out on my ex and I blew the biggest deal of my life. That's when I really figured out what was going on with my life. Oh shit, cool. My life's going moving forward. We're putting the smoke and review all the weed products that I'm selling internationally up into some WooCommerce and doing some DNS server pointing and IP addresses and all sorts of nerdy computer shit that I just learned because I've been learning because I had to learn it. I had to learn my new mentality. I had to learn my better way of responding to situations. I had to bless up my own self and my mind and my reactions and my attitude. So therefore, my new future would appear and manifest like it ought to. And that's all I'm saying to other people. It's not like you get a one up over somebody else. Sure, you're a bit taller. Sure, you're a bit richer. Sure, you're a bit nicer. But everyone has a skill set, right? Everyone has a purpose, right? And then what you do with that is up to you. And that's the big mindset right there. That's the big mind style. My mind style. You know, like that's it. It's my mind style. And I had to say that it got me further than I ever thought it would. It opened more doors. It got more boats. It got more hoes. And it definitely got your boy Saint up and at him at my fucking life flexing on these hoes. So your boy Saint's feeling it. I really am feeling myself, getting myself back together, getting my mouth together, my websites together, and my mind together so I can go back out in this world and slay the day. That's the morning motivation. If you got anything out of this, please like, share, and subscribe below. I'm going to go smoke this joint. You need to go focus. And on that level, let's take it to another program. Peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. And everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Peace.